Hello everyone, back again doing just a random video, I guess. If anyone doesn't know, I've been kind of in the loop of sports in the last year or so. I kind of kept up over the last, I don't know, excuse my thinking here, maybe, let's see, 2017, maybe 6 to 8 years. Like very bare minimum, just in the sense of the scripts and all that different things, and kind of knew what was going on, kind of what numbers to watch for, but I never really watched it all that much. Anyways, the NBA finals are going on. Game 1 just ended not long ago, and I was talking to a couple of my friends at the game, and just commenting on all the different things, like every time they'd miss like a wide open three, or a layup, or they're flopping around on the floor, sliding around, or faking an injury, or the drawing attention to the refs. Like, we obviously understand people who have esoteric information about robots and all that stuff, about how they're making calls look bad and so forth, so that way they can be replaced with robots sooner rather than later. But you have to get people used to it, so you gotta, just draw attention to it. And then ESPN, which is, Disney, Fox, NBC, the big six companies. If you don't know, I highly recommend looking into that. They really control all of it, the big six corporations. They pretty much control everything media-wise to a degree. I mean, they have their orders, but they're like, the step down from there. You get your bagels and your Federal, Ross, child, that type stuff, the Zio. Excuse me here, I'm trying to think of all the different things. I have a lot of notes here on my other phone, and it's pretty wild. It really is. I obviously connected the dots with Indiana and Oklahoma City. You got your Oklahoma City bombing. That's how they got their team. Basically, after that bombing, they took the Seattle Supersonics. So you get that connection. You get your Reggie Miller was on the Pacers. It kept showing Larry Bird. It showed like maybe three times in the game about Larry Bird. And then number 33 was a big part of the game. He banked off a three-point shot. You just could tell, like, he would either get into foul trouble or someone would foul him. Miles Turner, I believe. And I actually went to a game in Cleveland, Ohio, Cavaliers and Pacers. Easy. Of course, the dog has to be annoying while I'm recording. He's perfectly fine before. Hopefully he doesn't take another dump in public. Let's see. So, obviously, you're looking for the same numbers. Bandit, quiet. You get your 201, which is Jesuit. You get 33, obviously, Freemasonic. You get your 666. So, any 666, you're going to get 666. So, you get, excuse me for just a moment here. I'm thinking, I want to make sure I explain this properly. 36, 39, 93, 96, that kind of stuff. For your 23, you can get 23 from, obviously, 23. A lot of times they'll do like 2 3s, like, oh, this is a 3 and that's a 3. Or they'll do like a distributive property, if you know kind of what that is. It's like you take the number, like it'll be like January's 1, and then well, let's do 666 because that's easier to explain. But say it's like June, so you go June is 6, and then 26, so you get 6 and then 2 more 6s. And even this year you get 20, 25. So 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 5 more is 9. 9 is the inversion of 6. So like 16, 19, obviously 9/11 is another highly satanic number. Excuse me, just a moment here. I just have so much, and I want to make sure that it's clear. I understand sometimes I can speak very quickly and whatnot, and before people click off or whatever, this is just information that's known. Oh, another funny thing, they don't even get off the court before they show this graphic of Tyrese Halliburton on the Pacers, who hit the game-winning shot with 0.3 seconds left. And I called it from the beginning. I'm like, okay, halftime, it was like 57-43 or something. It was completely ridiculous. The end of 3, it was a 9-point game, and they still came back and won. Like, it's obviously scripted. Like, it's not that hard of a concept. They keep doing this over and over for the Pacers. And then apparently Reggie Miller did like this choking thing. Like he would like choke himself. Like obviously simulating like a choking thing. And I saw this on SportsCenter right after. And they even were talking about, oh, this is Scott Van Pelt was interviewing Tyrese Halliburton, a big bald guy with the glasses. Yeah, that's him. He was talking about how it's a stage, and that connects you to William Shakespeare in the plays or whatever. It talks about all the world's a stage, meaning it's fake. It's a script. It's nonsense. It's entertainment. That's all it is. It's not real. I don't remember anyone ever really saying it's real. It was just kind of implied this stuff is real. It's obviously entertainment. It's no different than a TV show or whatever. Like, people die on movies and TV and stuff. They don't really die. It's just part of the show. Or whatever. So it says, most game-tying or go-ahead field goals in the final 5 seconds since the 1997 playoffs. So LeBron James has 8. Tyrese Halliburton now has 5. 4th this postseason. So they had to get that number. He had to have 4 this postseason so he could tie Reggie Miller, who is also on the Pacers at one point. Oh, it doesn't. That's kind of cute. It doesn't actually show the Pacers that he played for. Any other teams, it just says Basketball Hall of Fame. So it kind of blocks out your, maybe you would trigger if you saw that. But yeah, obviously you can see what they're doing there. I called a lot of stuff during the game. I was like, okay, they kept showing Larry Bird. So then I was like, okay, watch for 33 because they have a number 33. And he hit that bank shot from, like, the wing or whatever. I do recall. They were throwing the ball away. They were, between both teams, they're missing layups. They're missing putbacks. They're not guarding. They're not rebounding. Obviously, you get your travel. They're always traveling. And that's perfectly, like, whatever. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking at pictures instead of my text. I'm pulling it up here. So these are texts to a guy that it's been about a year. I've taught him a lot of this stuff. And I was just like, okay, so here's this connection, here's that connection, and just really getting him to think about stuff. Okay, so at 10:06, all right, Pacers have 19 turnovers they keep drawing attention to. That was at halftime because I started the game at excuse me for just a moment. I had to come back after I'm in a public area watching the game, and someone else was in here. I didn't want to bother him. And then the dog had taken a dump last time I was in here, and then I walked away, and then that chick came in here, so I was like, okay, I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to leave you alone. I wrote, Thunder just missed 2 close shots on Pacers scores. LOL, they'll catch back up. That's 10:06. That's probably the third quarter. It looks like it at least. Thunder hit a 3. Pacers hit 3 with shot clock expiring. Wow. They're going back and forth scoring. I said, just leave the white guy open to dunk. He can't jump right. If you're that tall, you don't have far to get up. LOL. Pacers block at the rim. Pacers miss a jack-up 3. Let's see if they do a 19 script after the turnovers, LOL, which Pascal, which is one of the guys on the Pacers, who I believe he missed a foul shot, because if you're watching when he takes that foul shot, it's not a straight shot. Anyone who's played basketball now, you can see the hitch in it. I would hope. Like, I could definitely tell. You know, maybe someone will say, well, he just shoots it differently or whatever. I don't know that to be true, but that looked very fake to me. I was like, why is he missing that shot? Like, obviously. I'm like, okay, so 1 point. So they're probably going to either win by 1 or lose by 1. Or they'll just say, oh, it was a referee thing. Or you knew you were in for some crazy bull crap at the end of the game, to say the least. Okay, and then a guy on the Thunder, SGA, I believe he was MVP this year, fouled before shot and made fadeaway. Barely guarded, probably traveled. No points, get ball back. Announcers are pushing that again. And then they get a violation at 3:09, which is 666. You get your 3 nines. And obviously 9 is the inversion of 3, so 27 is 3 nines. It's 666 as well. It said, you'll see this. I miswrote here. Something about, you'll see some of this on the highlights, I think is what I'm saying. They went to break around 3 minutes left. Thunder only lost to Cavs in the Eastern Conference this year, LO. Neither team has impressed me, meaning the Pacers and the Thunder. Because I don't think either one of them really are playing that well. I mean, I finally got to watch the Pacers. I hadn't seen them since I saw them live, and I was like, they're an okay team. They're decent, but whatever. He said they were just leaving the big white guys to get rebounds and putbacks, LOL. OKC, which means Oklahoma City Thunder, missed open 3. OKC missed a 3 again with a wide open guy in paint who didn't try rebounding. OKC fouls Pacers. Pacers guy whining, probably over losing the ball and flopping now. They're about to challenge call and another break because they kept going to commercial. Challenge fail. I guess there's a little contact, but it's the idea they're drawing attention to it so they can replace it with robots in the future. Just letting OKC make an open 3 and go down and hit a 2. OKC missed shot trying to draw foul. Pacers hit open 3. I got to speed this up quickly. 9-point game at the end of 3. Last second 3 OKC hits. Liam Neeson naked gun, dresses and drag and disguise agenda and theory of celebrities wearing masks and being multiple people. Movie ad. First play in 4, throw himself on the floor. I believe that was Caruso. Missed layup foul call. Looks like they're going to give the game to OKC, missing rim shots, then throw away the ball to open court layup dunk. So I went back and forth on it. They really were trying to keep it interesting. Next game, Sunday 8. Trying to make it interesting. They keep sliding and throwing themselves on the floor. They just showed Larry Bird for that connection. Just noticed the Jason Tatum Duke and Doc Rivers Celtics connection. 4-point game. Turner Banks in 3:33. Because he's number 33. Larry Bird, they just showed, LOL. Thunder missed 2 layups. Pacers Turner misses a 3. I swear Pascal just missed the first foul shot on purpose. Free throw, lane violation, 3 minutes left. And they drew attention to that. They're like, you never see lane violations. You can watch months of NBA and never see it. At the last second, the shot was hitched. It wasn't a normal shot, barely noticeable. Thunder up, 1-point game. Pacers on 10-2 scoring run last 2 minutes. Throwing ball around. Thunder with ball up 1. Challenge out of bounds play to eliminate the timeouts if NBA does that. 23 seconds left in the Larry Bird script. Pacers win at the last second, called it. They did it so well it looked like they wouldn't get a shot off. Such a ridiculous comedy show, LOL. They could have double-teamed Halliburton on the winning shot. And then I wrote, they'll probably double-team each other after the game now. Comebacks compared to LeBron and Reggie Miller. I called that connection with the 30-year anniversary versus Knicks, I believe. How would they know and show that stat before the players leave the floor if they didn't plan it? LOL. That's a wrestling thing they always did. And then I wrote, jerseys have the QR code Mark of the Beast crap on them. 111 Pacers points. LOL. I noticed 111 is New York numerology connected to documentary of Reggie Miller versus Knicks 30-year anniversary. Pacers were up Thunder were up 15. Winning shot was the only lead. All right, guys. And then Steelers, Jets, Aaron Rodgers just signed. Play first week. Obviously, that's the script. Thank you guys very much for watching. God bless. Hopefully you learned something and you can talk some sense into people. God bless.